Guys, welcome back. Hope everybody had a good tournament there this last week. Myself didn't qualify for the final, messed up on my last hole and missed my opportunity. But these things happen in the old game of golf, and we'll just try and do better on the next one, right? So anyway, today, I guess I'm missing out on the lower levels for a lot of people. So I had a request for some Tour 5 holes. So I'm going to try and do one of those for you today. See what happens there. As soon as I get all these chests open. What does everybody think of the old Patriot ball? That one was a good steal. Kind of like the Easter egg ball that came out there at Easter time. Not a bad ball for the price you pay for it. I mean, it was fairly cheap, $6.99 with a bunch of gems too. Fairly good deal. I like it. It's not. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm going to go back to a Tour 1 hole just for the fun of it. Actually, you know what? I've already got all those. Let's go with a Tour 3 hole, a good old Asia Pacific. So a lot of these lower level holes or lower tour holes is they're fairly straightforward. There's not much to them. You don't really, there's no extra islands or shortcuts, or you just got to avoid the traps and stay out of the rough. And I have no idea what this guy's doing, but it seems to be a thing. I've seen a couple guys do this, but it like obviously never works out. Sometimes it does, but not very often. So I'll just stick with hitting the normal shots. I mean, I've got, for this level, I've got some pretty big clubs, so, whoops. I don't really need to go crazy with the shots, and I'm just basically gonna try and tap this one over the bunker here. Now for you lower level players, guys or gals that are just starting out, you're gonna want to just put that ball just a little bit to the left of that bunker there, the one back in the right hand corner there, and just lay it up. Don't hit it, don't do any extra power on it, because you're going to end up on that hill in the rough, and then your second shot's not so good. Once you get better, being in the rough isn't too bad if you can reach the green, but on holes where you go in the rough and you can't make the green on your second shot, you really want to avoid doing that. Wind when you're close to the hole it changes. I mean, I know all these guys put out these videos on how to play the wind. I put out some as well, and but you got to explain to the person that when you're driving the ball, obviously the further the ball's going to go, the more the ball's going to travel in the air, and the more it's going to curve because of the wind. Now, when it comes to your shorter holes, I just missed that one. Not your shorter holes, but your shorter distances, you're going to want to almost, like from a drive to a chip, you're almost cutting it in half. I know there's charts out there and all this, but I really think the best way to play, this guy just really likes being crazy. The best way to play is to use your instincts. I mean, it's fairly easy to judge where to end up placing the ball when you're shooting in the wind after you've played a while. When you're starting out, it's kind of a learning process, but you can kind of follow those charts that are out there. But I mean, I would suggest using your own how to figure out how to do it. Now, I will say one thing. When you're shooting the ball towards the pin, what you want to do, I know a lot of people will place the ball where they think it's going to be perfect to play the wind, so it ends up right at the pin. Now, 9 times out of 10, you didn't play it enough for some reason, and it ends up, 2 meters on the other side of the hole that you wanted it to be on. So what I've noticed, in whatever you think your ball should be placed at to land exactly going into the pin, whether you hit it you mess up and it goes 2 meters on the other side of the pin, or 2 meters on the side of the pin you're trying not to end up on, you're still in the same spot from the pin. So because of I don't know if it's in your head or how it goes, but you always seem to play the ball and then it ends up going, catching the wind, and it goes way further over than you thought it should. I find if you play the ball where you think it's going to play perfectly to the pin, and then move it over just a little bit more, either way you're going to end up on the other side of the hole in the same position as you would have been if you screwed up and put it on the far side of the hole. But sometimes, because of the way you line it up and it ends up screwing up, that little bit will get you right onto the pin. Now, I know this sounds confusing, but it works for me. I mean, I don't tend to use I kind of eyeball most of my shots, and I find if I play it just a little, like line it up where I think it's going to go good, straight at the pin, and then add a little bit more, it tends to be, and you will screw up on your ball meter, the target, either way, and sometimes it helps you out and sometimes it doesn't. But I don't know, that's just one thing that I notice about these holes. Now, I ended up playing that whole hole, and I got on this tangent of playing the wind, but there you have it. Kind of a weird explanation, but it might make sense to some people, and it might actually change the way you go at the pin. So for this episode, I guess we went from playing a 2 or 3 hole to trying to explain how to go at the pin playing the wind. But anyway, hit that like button, guys, and share the video, please, so everybody else can watch it, and subscribe to the channel if you like what's going on. And we will talk to you on the next one. I know I haven't put out a lot of videos lately. I've been kind of busy, but we will be getting you a couple more here in the next couple days, and hope you enjoy them. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.